This episode is being brought to you today by Ranch Hand Records, presenting What Is It About You? It's a YouTube channel where host JR interviews everyday people and learns what it is that makes them exceptional and extraordinary. Currently available on YouTube and at WIIAY.com. Also coming soon to a streaming service near you, actually near your phone, a recording that has been waiting 30 years, actually over 30 years, to be released. Only at Ranch Hand Records. Please stay tuned at ranchhandrecords.com. And now, today's podcast.
Hello and welcome to Three Things with JR. I'm JR. This is episode 142, also known as season 5, episode number 4. And I've got 3 things for you today, but first I want to tell you about my Saturday. I'm recording this on Sunday night, but on Saturday had quite the busy day. Kiki and I went to sing with the Oratorio Society of Virginia. No, we are not members of that choir. Kiki could be, although she's a member of the Virginia Consort, a similarly high-level local choir. No, the Oratorio Society invites community members to come and sing with them at their spring concert. Yeah, you pay $50, you show up at 10 a.m., you rehearse for 3 hours on 5 songs that I did not know or have sung before, and then you show up at 4 o'clock and you sing them live for people. And there was 170 people up on stage singing the second half of their concert, and it was quite powerful. And what made me do it was 2 things. One, normally I would play disc golf on Saturdays, but it was raining like crazy on Saturdays, so disc golf would not have been very much fun. So instead, we did this. And 2, it was music from musical theater. So 5 songs from different shows. There was a bunch of songs in the first act that were also from a bunch of different theater productions. But we did 5 songs. 2 of them I was not super familiar with. One was something in Italian. Valpensiero. Yeah, I'm not pronouncing it right. I had to learn how to pronounce stuff in Italian, which wasn't super hard. I learned Spanish and I can pronounce it pretty well. And I learned it in high school. I don't remember what most of it means, but I have a natural tongue for that, other than the fact that I can't roll R's. But no R rolling was needed for this song. And then we sang the Bridal Chorus by Wagner, which is the song you've heard at all the weddings you've ever been to, except this one was with the original lyrics in German. So this one was a challenge. Did have to learn how to pronounce all that German stuff. And then we sang those 2 songs. And then we sang 2 songs from Rodgers and Hammerstein, so Carousel and Sound of Music. And then we sang a song from Stephen Sondheim from Into the Woods. And we finished it up with One Day More from Les Mis. And these songs were powerful with 170 voices behind them. It was awesome. And the audience, sold out crowd, was on their feet applauding like as soon as these songs were over, because they were just so moving. And I was just so excited to have taken part in that. So that was my Saturday. And man, it's going to be hard to top that. So just thought you'd want to know what I've been doing. I was supposed to be taking a break from theater and not being so busy. Somehow I have become even busier on these last few weeks. It seems like I have something to do every single day after work. I haven't had time to watch much TV or movies or anything like that. And that seems like it's going to be the case for a while. I haven't had time to work out. I'm just It's been ridiculous. So let's get into some things, and I'll tell you about them.
Thing number one.
So I promised the band, Gary and Brian, that I would take some time off from the theater, and I am mostly doing that. I have been cheating on that rule, though, and here's how, with minimal to no impact on the band. So for a few weekends, a couple weeks ago, Kiki and I were asked to do sort of a cameo appearance at Shannon Arts for their show, The Marvelous Wonderettes Dream On, where we were audience members that get plucked out of the audience and pulled up on stage and participate in the show. And the reason they picked us was so that they could teach us this little dance ahead of time. But as far as the audience knew, we were picked out of the audience somewhat at random. So they were always shocked and gleeful when they saw us learn this dance, quote unquote, learn this dance on stage and then perform it with the Marvelous Wonderettes. And it was fun. I had a couple lines and some dancing, and it was a lot of, we did 6 shows. And that's the way to do theater with minimal impact on the band. Do a cameo, which requires almost no rehearsals at all. Show up and do it. And that's what we did. And it was a lot of fun. Not long after that, I auditioned for a radio play, a live radio play doing The Great Gatsby. Saw this ad on Facebook group for Charlottesville actors, and it's in Culpeper, so it's a little bit of a drive, but it sounded fun. And what I thought it was from the audition announcement was a something that would be like read in a studio on the radio, or maybe in front of a live audience, but something that would actually be played on like a local radio station or something. That was not the case. What it is a dramatic reading of The Great Gatsby, an abridged version of the book, by a live radio crew, as it would have been in, say, 1949, right? So live radio, doing stories. They would read things like F. Scott Fitzgerald's The Great Gatsby, and with actors in a studio. And so we will be playing actors on a stage, in a studio, as if they were presenting The Great Gatsby as a radio play in the 1940s. So I'll be playing actor Freddie Fillmore, who does like 4 different roles in the show, including that of Tom Buchanan. That's really my main role. And if you're not familiar with The Great Gatsby, well, first off, shame on you. Your English teacher in high school did not do their job. This was a book I read in high school. I did watch the movie back then, the 1974 movie with Robert Redford and Mia Farrow. And I remember a lot of the book and a lot of the movie, and I've always thought it was a great story. I know there's a newer movie, the Leonardo DiCaprio and Carey Mulligan, The Great Gatsby, as directed by Baz Luhrmann. So that one I haven't seen, but we'll probably be watching that in preparation for playing the role of Tom Buchanan. He's described in the script as Daisy's hulking brute of a husband. So I get to be a hulking brute, originally from Chicago, living on Long Island, and so he's sort of a jerk, not super nice guy. And also, of course, Freddie Fillmore, who does all of the radio announcements, which is kind of my thing. Being a radio DJ sort of guy, I enjoy that a lot. So I'm pretty freaking excited about this. It's a minimal impact on the band because there's only 2 rehearsals a week, and they're on Monday nights and Wednesday nights. The band doesn't have gigs or rehearsals those nights, so we're good. And there's only 1 performance of this show, and it's on a Saturday, so I booked that out. That's the minimal impact on the band is that Saturday night performance. And so that's it. So there you go. The Great Gatsby, April 13th. In Culpeper. As soon as I have information on how to get tickets for it, I will put that out on my Facebook for 3 Things with JR and my personal Facebook page, and I'll put a link to it in a show at some point. But if you're local to the Charlottesville, Culpeper area, sounds like a fun time. Going to it's going to be performed at like a country club, and it's a gala event. You can come in dressed in your, you have a choice, like your 1920s gear, costumes, outfits, whatever, or your 1940s. Both are appropriate for this because the radio program takes place in 1949, but we're reading a book that takes place in the 20s. So come as either one. Just come with some of your vintage clothing and have a good time. I do need to rewatch these movies. In prep for this, I'm doing a couple things. One, I am listening to the Planet Money podcast, in which the people on staff, the voices of Planet Money, read this book start to finish on the radio as if it were an audiobook. And the reason they're able to do that, as they say in the program, is because this book is now in the public domain. It's that old. So anybody can do it, which is probably why Culpeper and this Arts Foundation are able to afford to do it, probably because it doesn't cost all that much. So I'm listening to the book on Planet Money. I'm almost done with that, which is reminding me of all of the particulars of this story. I'm going to rewatch the Robert Redford, Mia Farrow movie, or I'm going to actually see the Baz Luhrmann, Leo DiCaprio version of The Great Gatsby, which I haven't seen yet. In the older movie, the 1974 movie, Bruce Dern plays Tom Buchanan, and in 2013, it's Joel Edgerton plays Tom Buchanan. So I don't know which of those Tom Buchanans will closely, will I be able to more closely sort of emulate or take some tips from or learn a little bit from, but I've got to come up with a voice for Tom Buchanan that's different from the voice of Freddie Fillmore and different from the three other characters that I'll also be playing in this book. So it's a new sort of challenge. I don't have to memorize any lines, though, because we'll have our scripts in front of us because it's supposed to be on the radio. You're supposed to be reading it. So yeah, that's going to be fun. April 13th in Culpeper. More details to come.
Thing number two.
Kiki and I have made some plans to go back to New York City. We decided last year that our Christmas present to each other was going to be our next trip to New York City. And we are spending some money to take the trip. We've got our train tickets, we've got our hotel rooms, and we've got tickets to at least one show. We're going to be able to see 4 shows while we're there. And one of them is called Merrily We Roll Along. It's a Sondheim show, and it stars, in this case, Jonathan Groff, also known as the King Charles. Is it Charles? The King whatever, King Louis. I don't remember. I don't remember the name of the king. The King from Hamilton, so he's in it, and also Daniel Radcliffe from that Harry Potter movies. So it's kind of a big deal, and tickets are not cheap. I will not be telling you how much we're spending on those tickets. It's almost embarrassing. So, but we're pretty excited. And I've seen on Facebook several times people have recently posted, "Life is short, buy the tickets." And I took that to heart, and we went ahead and bought the tickets. And we're sitting really close, technically closer than is typically recommended for seeing a Broadway show. Like if you ask Google and others and experts, where's the best seats? And it's not like front row. It's back in the middle of the orchestra section where you get a better view of everything. You're less likely to have stuff blocked from your view from things like the pit orchestra and stuff like that. But we ignore that, and we sit as close as we can get. We have had pretty good luck sitting in the front row for these theaters stuff. And we kind of want to be close enough that Jonathan Groff, who again played the king in Hamilton and is known for spitting when he sings. We are hoping to take on some saliva from Jonathan Groff. That would be fantastic. We're going to carry some Ziploc bags, try to capture it, maybe sell it on eBay or something like that. So yeah, that's what we're going for. Don't know what else we're going to see. I do know that I will be filming more stuff for my What Is It About You YouTube channel. I got so much stuff the last time we were there. I am still putting out new videos of people that I interviewed in New York City back in August when Kiki and I last were there. And so I've been saving some of it. I've forgotten about some of it. I've just finally run out of stuff. I have a What Is It About You video coming out tomorrow. This podcast drops on Tuesdays. The What Is It About You videos drop on Wednesday mornings. There's a new one coming out tomorrow, and it's all about some horse and carriage drivers in Central Park in New York City. We interviewed a few of them. Kiki made friends with one of them, and one of them's got a really cool Irish accent, and it's just a fun little video. So check out What Is It About You? That's my YouTube channel. If you're not sure how to find it on YouTube, go to wiiay.com, and that will link you over to the YouTube channel. Also, you can buy merch. I got hats and t-shirts and hoodies with What Is It About You logos all over them. So check that stuff out. But we are pretty excited to be going to see some more Broadway shows. That's thing two.
Thing number three.
Thing number three. So there's a comedian who I have been listening to for quite some time. I grew up listening to comedians. My mom and dad got me a tape of Steve Martin when I was very young, like not even 10 years old yet, 7, 8, somewhere around there, called Let's Get Small. And I played that tape. I played the tape out. I had it memorized. If we played it right now for you, I could give you every line of that Steve Martin stand-up special. It was one of my favorite things ever. And when my kids were growing up, we had something similar, one that we could listen to anytime. We had it on CD, and it was in the car and ready to go for any time we were taking a road trip or anything like that. We listened to this CD so many times that both Chester and Allison and I have it pretty much memorized. And this would be Brian Regan. He is still a comedian, still going strong. The CD he put out in 1997 is called Brian Regan Live, and it's one of the only CDs he ever put out. And we have listened to it front to back over and over and over again. We definitely have it memorized, and we quote it regularly, like on a daily basis. Some of the things that Brian Regan says in this comedy stand-up special comes out of our mouths, or we at least think it. I can guarantee you it is an every single day sort of a thing. And I'm going to play you an example of that here in just a second, because I, as you know, if you listen to this show, I recently bought a new car, and the car that I traded in was a Subaru Crosstrek, and it was bright red. And if you know me personally, you know that one of my favorite things to drink, like at a restaurant, in fact, I have one at home with me right now. It is a big glass of Coca-Cola with grenadine in it. It's also known as a Roy Rogers. If you're going to a bar and you order a Roy Rogers, you will get a cherry Coke, which is normally a Coke with grenadine in it. Because, you know, Coke alone is not sweet enough, at least not for me. Anyway, I like a cherry Coke. I like grenadine, and my car was the color of grenadine. So that was the license plate I got for her, grenadine, and that was my Crosstrek's name. Kiki and I would regularly say, "Would you like to take your truck, Darth?" Because it's a big, black, and menacing truck that has the Force in it. Do you want to take Darth, or do you want to take grenadine? Or her Saab was named Sven. She doesn't have a name yet for her new Outback, but pretty soon I'm sure it'll have one. But I now have a name for my new Subaru, and it is not red, so it's not grenadine. My new car is white, so several names were suggested. Somebody said Snowball or Snowflake, something like that, because it's white, and I decided not to go that route. It's a Subaru WRX, so I thought of something like This Works being spelled DHIS and then WRX, which I thought was clever, but not clever enough. It wasn't, it didn't, I didn't go do it. But then, I don't know, I was sitting here late at night on the DMV website, putting in things that I thought might be funny. I tried versions of, for example, FNGO. with different levels of spacing between the letters, trying to get the phrase, hoping that if you read it, you might think to yourself, effing go. You know, like at the stoplight. Come on, it's time to go. Effing go. But the DMV was smart enough. There was no version of effing go that I could get past their little built-in website sensors. So that didn't work. So I thought of Brian Regan as I was doing this. And sure enough, I was able to get a perfect license plate. And I'm going to play a clip from Brian Regan's stand-up that in which he says this phrase that is now going to be my license plate on my new car. And so here you go. Here's Brian Regan doing one of my favorite stand-up bits.
You ever start to say something and in the middle of what you're saying, you decide to say something else completely? You know, there's already words out there. These friends were leaving the other day, and I started to say, hey, take care, and I decided to say good luck instead, like halfway through, you know. So it came out in neither. See you later, Brian. Take luck. Take luck and care. Take care of the luck. Good luck taking care of the luck that you might have. If you have luck, take it and care for it. Take luck care of it when you take all care of it.
So my new car's license plate is going to be Take Luck. If I remember correctly, it's Take space Luk. Wasn't enough spaces for the full 8 characters in a space. So it's going to be Take Luck. So now when we're deciding what car to take somewhere, we can go, hey, you want to take Darth or your Subaru Outback, or do you want to take Luck? So the car's name is kind of like Luck. You want to take Luck? Also, as I'm driving away from you at the green light, because I'm faster than you, that's me saying to you in my rear license plate, hey, take Luck. And it's just fun to say. Once you've heard that 150 times, you can't help but think anytime you're saying goodbye to somebody, you might accidentally say to them, hey, take Luck. And it's awesome. So when I'm saying goodbye to Chester or Allison, I will often say, hey, take Luck. And so will they. So that's the name of the new car. The license plate has not arrived yet. It's not on my car yet, but soon it will be, and we can retire the Grenadine plates. And I can put them inside in a box, probably in storage until I move to my forever home, in which case I will take them out and put them on a wall somewhere on my old license plates. So that's it. That's the show. 3 things with JR. 142 episodes of this show now in the can. Thank you so much for listening. I'll be back in 2 weeks. Keep in mind, next week is Small Things Considered. Oh, and by the way, if you haven't been listening to that, Gary and I are doing some of our best work here lately, talking about the presidential election, this one, as well as the history of presidential elections. In our next episode, we're going to be talking about political parties, I do believe. But in our last one, we really summed up Super Tuesday for you. So I know not a whole lot of people have listened to that show. It came out on a weird day and all that, but I highly recommend you go check out our latest episode of Small Things Considered. It will be worth your time, I promise you. And you should, of course, listen all the way to the end. There are often little hidden Easter eggs after the closing theme song of Small Things Considered. I had a little fun with this one, so there's some payoff if you listen to the very last second. So that's what you should do. All right, I'm out of here. Thanks for listening. And I guess I should say, take luck.
Get up, get up, get up. It's a brand new day. It's a brand new day. It's a brand new day.
I'm always putting my foot in my mouth. I don't stop to think. I just, oh no, words are coming out. Oh no. I'm not thinking, what is that? Like I met this woman recently. I could have sworn she was pregnant. Let me tell you. I know now. I think the rule is don't guess at that ever, 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 something like that. I didn't have enough evers memorized, you know. So I said, hey, when's that baby due? You ever feel a word coming up, but it's too late to stop it? And it's coming out and loud. Hey, when's that baby due? Baby! What baby? At the zoo, the pandas. I knew they were trying to have one. I just, thought we'd talk about them. Talk about the fluffy zoo animals that I hear they got them over there. You can go look at them and if you want, touch them.